This is fine. I'm okay with the events that are unfolding currently. That's okay. Things are gonna be okay.
What's up guys, Sal here. So just when we thought everything is gonna settle down between Huawei and the US government, Google out of nowhere dropped a bombshell saying the worst is yet to come. Google confirmed that the Huawei Mate 30 Pro will not have Google apps, which includes YouTube, Gmail, Maps, and most importantly, the Play Store. That's right, Google told routers that the Mate 30 family cannot be sold with licensed Google apps and services. If you remember, a few days ago, Huawei was given an additional 90-day reprieve up until December where they can work with American companies as usual, which also includes Google and using their app ecosystem. But what we didn't know was there's a catch in that temporary license that was given to Huawei. You see, this 90-day license only applies to existing products, which means any new product or deal would not fall under that license. The Mate 30 Pro is a new product and hence the reprieve doesn't apply to this handset. Trump, however, said last month that some exemptions would be allowed. So far, over 130 companies have filed for licenses to work with Huawei, but all of them have been rejected by the US government. Surprisingly, Google didn't apply for the exemptions yet, so there's a slight possibility that the US might accept Google's licensing request to work with Huawei, but looking at how they rejected over 130 companies' request, the possibility of them accepting Google request would be very slim. Huawei responded to this saying, and I quote, "Huawei will continue to use Android OS and ecosystem if the US government allows us to do so. Otherwise, we'll continue to develop our own operating system and ecosystem." It's easier said than done in my opinion. I mean, yes, Harmonyos has the potential to be the next big thing, to be the third viable smartphone operating system in the world of Android and iOS. But I don't think it's the solution Huawei is looking for right now. I mean, it's gonna take years, multiple years and effort for Harmonyos to reach the same level as Android and iOS. And it's gonna take a miracle for Huawei to create alternatives to YouTube and other popular Google apps. I don't think any person with a sane mind would buy a $1,000 phone in markets other than China that doesn't have YouTube or a Play Store. So for the Mate 30 Pro, Harmonyos is nowhere near the solution Huawei is looking for. Yes, it might become a big thing, say 3 years down the line, but most certainly not in 2019. So Huawei has to work with Google to resolve this issue, or else Huawei is going out of the competition in no time. So now what? What about the Mate 30 Pro? Look, as I've said, there's a very slim chance that the US government would exempt Google and would let them work with Huawei for at least the Mate 30 Pro. But if that doesn't happen, then Huawei might use a forked version of Android on the Mate 30 series. I don't think they would go for the Harmonyos right away because the way I see it, it isn't ready for prime time just yet. Forked version of Android on the Mate 30 Pro would mean Huawei will do absolutely fine in China, but in the rest of the world, they'll surely have a very hard time selling these $1,000 flagships because like I've said, no one with a sane mind will buy a phone that doesn't have Google apps, YouTube, and Play Store. Despite all of this, Huawei Mate 30 Pro is still scheduled to launch on September 18th, so let's hope everything gets sorted out in the meantime, or else Mate 30 Pro will be irrelevant right out of the box. If you want to keep updated about all of this, then please consider subscribing, and as always, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace out.